Hello guys, welcome to my channel CS Tech Vidya. So this is the third video in this playlist. So in first video we have seen introduction about me and what are the courses we are going to see in this playlist and what are the Python topics. Okay, so module 1 and module 2. Okay, and next video in second video we have seen little introduction about programming languages and how does software interact with the memory and what is the role of operating system, very high level. Okay, so in this third video, okay, we are going to start with the actual programming with Python. Okay, we'll see little introduction about Python. Okay, what are the applications we can develop with the Python, and in our next video we'll jump into actual concepts and we'll write the program in our from our next video. Okay, yes. So this is the Python. So I mean introduction to Python. Okay, so this is the first class of Python. Okay, yes. So Python is high level general purpose programming language. Okay, so already we have seen what is high level, correct? So what is that high level? Like I mean English like statements, and all the underlying concepts like I mean connecting with the OS, connecting with the memory, converting the instructions into zeros and ones. Okay, getting the memory. Okay, memory. All these things you no need to worry as a developer. Okay, you just write focus on your application logic, what you have to do, and write them in English instructions and give it to the Python programmer. Just to follow the Python syntax and semantics. That's it. Okay, you no need to worry about underlying concepts of all these things. Okay, yes. Then what is general purpose programming language? What is general purpose programming language? We will see in next slide. Okay, yes. The current trend. Okay? So Python is generally treated as a language of AI applications. Okay, Python is language of AI applications. So let's assume if you are working on any like I mean Gen AI or any AI related application. Okay, so you will use pandas. Okay, you will use NumPy, you will use some matplotlib for visualization, and you will use some frameworks like I mean Django, and you will use for like I mean PyTorch. Okay, PyTorch, scikit. Okay, scikit-learn, and LangChain, LangGraph. All these are implemented using in Python. Okay, na? So all these libraries or frameworks are implemented and available in your Python. Okay, so to develop any AI application, the first priority is the first preference is the Python. So in the Python, we have all these variety of libraries and frameworks to develop the AI application. So that's why Python is treated. The Python is the language of AI applications. Then who has developed this Python? Okay, who has developed this Python? He is the Ragaido Van Rossum. So he is the author of the Python. So he is the author of the Python. He officially released the first version in 1991 in February. Okay, and the current latest version, okay, as of today is 3.14. Okay, as of this date, okay, 3.14. Yes. Next, okay, what are all the things? Okay, what are all the things we can work with the Python? We can develop with the Python. Okay, it is like a application development, web applications, database applications, game development, data applications, and automation scripts. Okay, so apart from this, along with this, you can work on developing the game applications. Okay, and you can work on some analytical applications. Okay, and you can work on cyber security related projects. Okay, there are multiple things. Okay, there are multiple things you can work with Python, but these are just I just highlighted. These are the one of the most important and currently demanded projects which are developed with Python. Okay, so since one Python programming language, we can work on all these projects. Okay, so that's why generally it is treated as a Swiss Army knife. Okay, so Swiss Army knife. Okay, this is nothing but Swiss Army knife is some like I mean how can I say, like I mean from French word. I think it is a French word. So generally they will refer so one tool for multiple purposes. One tool for multiple purposes. Okay, here also with Python is single language, so we can develop all these applications. So it is treated as a Swiss Army knife. Okay, so next, what are the features of Python? Okay, why everyone is using Python for developing the all these applications, AI application, games, automation scripts, and all. Why? Because Python is very simple and no complex syntax. We have seen in our previous video, correct? So for a simple calculator application, Java and C required to, we need to import some libraries, and we have to follow the some curly brackets, and we have to define public access modifiers, main functions, and all. But when comes to Python, just simply create your variables and do your operation. That's it. With three instructions, you can complete your activity, right? But when it comes to Java, C++, you need to write multiple things. Correct? Yes. And high level language. Okay. Dynamic typed. Okay. Interpreted. Object oriented. Okay, in our when we enter and when we completed our basics of data types, so we will cover all this: what is dynamic type, what is object oriented, and what is interpreted. Okay, I will explain with clean diagrams and with clean explanation. So in interview, if anyone asked you like what is dynamic type, why everything is object in Python, what is interpreted, okay, you will explain confidently with practically in your interview. Okay, just please watch up to what is the data types, introduction to data types. Okay, so let's practice some small programs on integer, strings, and all. See, okay, so once we practice those programs and assignments, we'll see what is interpreted, dynamic type, and object. Okay, yes. Okay, and the next, procedure oriented, we can write the programs using functions and procedures. Okay, platform independent. Okay, we'll see this platform independent also when we cover interpreted. Okay, and extensible. Okay, we can develop our own libraries, okay, and we can incorporate, we can integrate with the Python. Okay, extensible. Okay, next, open source and free. So Python is open source, so you can download freely. Even you can download the source code of entire Python programming language, and you can customize it, and you can develop your own libraries. Okay, so what is library, what is package, we'll see in our upcoming videos. Okay, next, what is embedded. Okay, you can easily embed this Python programming language into other environments. Okay, like other environments, Python, Java, C, like TV, electronic devices, chips. Okay, we can embed this Python programs into other programming language or other environments. Okay, yes. Next, okay, we have covered what is Python, history, and history. So next, how to install this Python. Okay, I have already installed Python, so I will explain just two slides. So just follow these slides. If you have any issues or any challenges for installation, you can happily ping me. I will definitely help you, or you can comment me. Okay, yes. So first we need to go our official website of python.org downloads page. Okay, as soon as you enter this URL and visit this website, you will get this screen. Okay, so select our respective operating system. Okay, select either Linux or Mac OS or Windows. Next, once you click on this, you will get another page to download the latest version of Python, your operating system. Okay, so try to download this 64-bit version. Okay, try to download the 64-bit version. So whenever you click on this link, the file will be automatically started downloading, and you can find it in your downloads folder. Okay, so go to download folder and double click on this file. Okay, you will get the uh, Python installation screen. Okay, so before clicking on this thing, so just check this box. Okay, add Python to .exe path. Okay, this path. Okay, add Python to exe path, then click on this install now option. Okay, so immediately the Python installation will be started, and you can see, just wait for 1 or 2 minutes, so that will be completed. You will get the confirmation screen. Okay, once we install Python, how we can ensure whether Python is installed successfully or not? Simply open your command prompt. Okay, open your command prompt, type Python, just type Python. Okay, you will see the Python environment of your installed version. Okay, so this was my, this is the version I'm using in my system. Okay, you will get the different version number in your system. Okay, yes, but this Python on command line, this Python works well for Windows. And if anyone has multiple versions of Python in your system, or if anyone is using any other OS, okay, we have to follow these commands. Okay, Python. Okay, Python 3 for Mac OS and Linux. Okay, Python, just Python on Windows. Okay, if you have multiple versions of Python, either you try just Py 3, like you can try, so you will get the installation. Still, if you can't find, if you can't see this screen in your command prompt, okay, just please do a comment. I will do a separate video on setting the environment variables and setting the Python installation path to local to your OS. Okay, yes, most important. Next, okay, we have installed Python in our system successfully. Okay, what are all the components that we will get with the Python installation? So it is nothing but you are downloading, you are purchasing on toolbox. Okay, let's assume you are like, I mean, any electrician or any plumber, so wherever they go for any work, they will carry some toolbox, right? So similarly, when you are working on projects, if you are if you are developing any applications with Python programming language, you should aware what are all the toolkits that you will get with the Python. Okay, the first important is interpreter, IDLE, standard library, venv, Python launcher, and documentation. Okay, so then every day, once we go to, or once we complete our module one, every day we will interact with these four components, guys. Every day, every time, every 1 hour, okay, we will use these components once we complete our module one. Okay, so this ideally, so as a beginner, so along with avoiding the AI, along with avoiding the AI for the first 15 days, avoid the IDE also. Okay, what is that? PyCharm, VS Studio, Notepad++ or something. Okay, so just follow, use the command prompt or IDLE to practice your program. Okay, initial days. Okay, first 5 days or 10 days. Once you okay, once you get the confidence, okay, you are able to understand the concept. Okay, you are able to write the program. Then go with the Visual Studio or Python, your favorite editor. Okay, yes. So documentation, okay, very beautiful documentation. So you will get it as a HTML pages. So like, I mean, if you don't have internet, okay, if you wanted to explore the Python documentation, okay, you can get it in like, I mean, without internet also you can see the documentation of your downloaded version. Okay, that version documentation. Yes, so this is about the Python installation, guys. Okay, I hope I made it clear. So we have successfully completed Python installation, and we have seen what are all the components that we can give it the Python, and we have seen the major applications what we can develop with Python features, who has developed the Python. Okay, so next, what we will see next. Okay, so we will see what is identifiers. Okay, we'll start with our actual programming with identifiers. Okay, yes, just a minute. Okay, so before going to program, like, I mean, before going to topic, I just wanted to explain one important thing here. Okay, so just a second. Yes. Okay, whether you are learning or any programming language, Java, Python, C, C++, or anything. Okay, just first to know syntax, syntax, and basic building blocks. Okay, so basic building blocks. Oh, I think just a second. Yes, basic building blocks. Like, I mean, what are the identifiers? How we can create variables, data types, data types, conditions, conditions, loops, loops, and some data structures, and important functions. Function. So these are the basic building blocks of any programming language, guys. Okay, if you know all these concepts, if you can develop the programs without you depending on AI tools using these concepts, you can work on any project, guys. Okay, only thing you need to understand is the what is the framework, how it will help for your project. Okay, and what are the concepts that required to learn, that required to work on the framework. So if you know that such kind of concepts, so you can easily implement and you can easily use the framework. Okay, so these are the basic building blocks of any programming language: identifiers, variables, data types, conditions, loops, data structures, functions. Okay, there are other things as well, but as a beginner, as a non IT background, non IT professional students, okay, so once you master these concepts, you can jump into slowly other topics. Okay, if you spend effective and efficient time on these topics, let's assume if you are spending 10 days, each day 2 hours, and if you are writing programs on these topics without any AI, so definitely you will clear your interviews, and definitely you can upskill yourself, and definitely you can learn other topics as well. Okay, trust me, you can ask anyone, you can ask anyone. Okay, what you need to know is just know the concept, how we can use in your project, how it will fit your requirement, and how we can adapt it. That's it. Okay, yes. So next we'll see what is identifier. Okay, what is identifier? Okay, identifier is user defined name. Okay, identifier is an user defined name. Okay, so you can call it as a developer defined name as well. Okay, so developer defined name. Okay, developer defined name. Okay, given to the program elements. Okay, so what are these program elements? Just we have seen variables, data types, functions, data structures, loops, loops, conditions. So these are the programming elements such as, okay, we have variables, functions, keyword, classes, modules. Okay, these are the programming elements. So we will develop our programs using these concepts only. So for each and every piece, for each and every concept, we will give some name. We will give some name. So that name is nothing but identifier. I will explain little with explanation. Okay, we'll see. Okay, let's assume I have some calculator program. Okay, so with basic knowledge of English or instructions, everyone can understand these instructions, right? Okay, yes. What I'm doing, I'm just collecting two numbers from the user and I wanted to perform addition. Okay, so addition logic is implemented here. Okay, and I have given name called addition. Okay, whenever I wanted to perform addition of two numbers, I have to call this function. Okay, for this function, this is the name. I am using this name here. Okay, this addition function, it needs two numbers. Okay, where are my number, where are my values? My values are inside this variables. Okay, I'm passing these variables. Okay, so these values will be replaced here and it will do the addition operation and it will display, and it will display. Similarly, if I want to do subtraction, okay, call the subtraction function, pass the same variables here. These values will be replaced here and it will display the output. Okay, this is the nothing but identifier. Okay, so whenever, okay, so whenever you wanted to call a function or whenever you wanted to use a value stored in variable, okay, you should know the name of that particular variable or name of the function. That is nothing but an identifier, guys. Okay, in general, in general, like our humans, okay, our humans are pets, so we will follow some rules to put the names, right? Okay, similarly in Python programming language, we have to follow some rules to name. Okay, to name the programming elements. Okay, so what are those rules? So identifier name must contain only letters A to Z, capital letters or digits or underscore. Should start with either letter or underscore. Okay, names are case sensitive, names cannot be keyword. We will see what is keyword in our next video. Okay, so I'm just repeating the same instructions again. So same thing again. Identifier name must contain only letters, okay, digits or underscore. Should start with either letter or underscore. Names are case sensitive, names cannot be keyword. Okay, we'll see little practice. Okay, we'll see little practice. Okay, name equal to Vijay. Okay, name, so this is an identifier. This is an identifier. So identifier, I used only letters. So this is valid. Okay. So this is the actual value, guys. Okay, this is actual value. Okay, we will see what is value and what is variable in next video. Okay, yes. Next, full underscore name. I use the underscore to combine these two words. Okay, Guido Van Rossum. Okay, so here you no need to use underscore. You can since it is a value, so you can use any letter here. Okay, yes. Next, balance, I started with underscore. Okay, so in our, we have seen variable name or any element name can start with either letter or underscore, so it is valid. Okay, so you can use the digits, you can use the digits that as part of your naming. So as part of naming your program elements, you can use the digits. Okay, so it is allowed, but you cannot use the letter digits as a starting. Okay, yes. So here I started with my digit, here I started with digits, so it is invalid. Correct, it is invalid. Here I used the hyphen, I used the hyphen, so it is invalid. Okay, so next, I used class is one of the keyword in Python, so it is invalid. Okay, so next, student name, I have not used any, I have not used any space or any separator or anything. Okay, so it is invalid. Okay, we'll see practically. Okay, we'll see practically. Okay, yes. We know, right? We have seen our just, we have seen already. So how to open the Python environment in your system? Okay, just type, open your command prompt, just type Python and enter. That's it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I just wanted to store my name. Okay, I just wanted to store my name. Okay, yes, name. Okay, so in here, okay, I can see my value. Okay, I wanted to store my full name. I wanted to store my full name. Full name equal to Vijay Kumar. Okay, yes. So it is, what is showing, syntax error, invalid syntax. Okay, so syntax error, invalid syntax. So where it is pointing out, it is pointing about name. Okay, because here we have used the space. Here we have used the space, so it is not allowed. You cannot name your variable with space. Okay, yes. So let's assume, so I wanted to display my balance. Okay, 40,000. Okay, yes. So we can start a variable name. I mean, we can start our element name using starting with underscore. That is valid. Okay, so if I want, we can access. Okay, but in Python, any variable or any function or any object or any class, if it is started with under single underscore and double underscore, it has some internal, it has some special meaning. Okay, what is that meaning? When we will use this underscores to name our program elements, so we'll see it in our upcoming videos. Okay, so but what you should remember is, so if any variable or any function or any class started with underscore, it means it has some purpose. Okay, you should know that. I mean, you should remember this part. Okay, yes. Next, so how we can rewrite this full name? Full name underscore equal to Vijay Kumar. Okay, Vijay Kumar. Okay, you can use complete also. You can use complete word without any underscore also. But most probably, like I mean, professionally, so to separate the words, to separate the two separate words, so we'll follow underscore. Okay, we'll follow underscore. Okay, this is how you should use. Okay, yes. So next. So whenever you name something, okay, whenever you name something, that should be meaningful, guys. Okay, these are not rules. So these are not rules, but I just based on my experience and some standards. Okay, I'm giving these instructions. So variable names are meaningful and keep variable names short but descriptive. Okay, x equal to Vijay, x equal to Vijay. So I will tell, okay, use the x variable name x, but other developer can understand what is the value in x. No, right? So it might be any other value, but instead if we give student name equal to Vijay, student name equal to Vijay, so it will indicate that okay, there might be chances are 90%, so they are storing some student name in this variable. Okay, it is easy, right? It is easy, right? But you can store anything here. Okay, you can store anything here, so that we will see programmatically later. Okay, so similarly a equal to 30. Do you know what is a? So you know, right? Yes, a is equal to 30. That's why I told variable name or anything that should be meaningful and descriptive. So every other developer, every like I mean application developer, any others, so they should easily able to guess what is the value it holds. Okay, yes. So next is equal to true, student data is equal to true. Okay, next, yes, there is no such restriction. You can use however how long you want. Okay, you can name the variable or function, but try to avoid. Why? Because so it is very difficult to remember this name. Even if you do remember, so there might be chances some capital letter or small letter or some missing this underscore or anything, it will give you an error. Okay, keep it short but descriptive and meaningful. So again, these are not rules of programming. These are not rules of programming. These are the standard guidelines and professional rules. Okay, na? So professional rules. Okay, next, use lowercase letters with underscore. Okay, so we have seen already, we have covered it. Okay, lowercase letters, you can use first uppercase also, but professionally in Python we will use the lowercase letters. And use the names based on the data purpose, like I mean meaningful, descriptive, that's it. Okay, is active, student count, price. Okay, yes, that's it. So this is the nothing but identifier. Okay, what is identifier? Identifier is just a name given to elements of your programming. What are those elements? It can be variable, it can be keyword, or it can be class, it can be object or function or data types or anything. Okay, na? Anything, data structure as well. Okay, so package or module, anything. Okay, that name should follow these rules, and that I mean as a developer, as a professional, you should follow these guidelines also. Okay, so we have covered what is an identifier. So next we'll see what is variables. Okay, what is variables? Very short video, guys. Okay, very short, but very important. Okay, yes. So let's assume I have one mobile. I have one mobile. Okay, I have one mobile. Okay, I wanted to give, tell these details. I wanted to store this mobile details in my system. Okay, I wanted to store these details in my system. Okay, so like what is that? Like, every phone, it has some name, model, some specifications like, camera, okay, RAM, price, price. I have to store these variables. I have to store these values. I want to store these values in my program or my application. Okay, how we can collect? How we can collect? Correct. So let's see. Okay, so name equal to Samsung. Name equal to Samsung. Okay, so model equal to some model equal to A150 or something. Okay. Okay, next camera 64 megapixel, 64 megapixel, ram ram 4 GB. Okay, price some 29,000. Okay, these are the details I wanted to store in my computer. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are storing the value, and we are giving the reference here. Correct. So whenever, if anyone asks what is Samsung, you can tell it is a name. Okay, what is the name of this mobile? Okay, simply by using the name you can retrieve the value. Correct. So is it clear, right? So in order to store these values in our application, in our memory, okay, we need to collect the values. We need to collect the values, and we need to inform our programming language components Python interpreter to store these values in memory. How we can do? How we can do? So that is what variable, guys. Okay, so in generally variables are used to store the values in memory. The purpose of variable is nothing but store the values in the memory. How we can do it in programmatically? How we can do it in programmatically? Okay, how we can do it in programmatically? Okay, yes, just a second, guys. Sorry. Okay, so let me load it again. Why it is not happening? Okay. So in Python programming, variable is a just user-defined name given to the reference of memory location. Okay. What we have seen in previous video, variables are used to store the values, but in Python, the variables are is a just user-defined name given to the reference of memory location. We'll see it practically. Okay. So let's assume. So this is my RAM. Okay. In RAM, we will have some memory blocks. We will have some memory blocks. Okay, so I wanted to store some values in my memory. Samsung price 30,000. 30,000. Okay, so whenever I run this program, so this value will be going to RAM, and it will be sit in one of the available memory block. One of the available memory block. Okay, but for this block, every time whenever you store any value, it will generate one unique identifier. Okay, one unique identifier. Okay, one unique identifier. This is nothing but your Aadhaar card number. Okay, or some identifier. Okay, identifier. Okay, so this remembering this address is very difficult, right? So let's assume I wanted to display my phone details to the user. Okay, what I have to do? I have to read the RAM, read these values stored in this particular address. How we can remember this address? It is very difficult, right? It is very difficult, right? Yes. So for this address we are just giving the reference. For this address we are just giving the reference. Okay, so remembering the names compared to address is very easy. Okay, whenever you wanted to display your name, okay, just to call the name. So automatically your interpreter, okay, whether this name is defined or not. Okay, if it is defined, what is the address of it, reference of it? Just go to RAM, load the value, display the user. That's it. Okay, so I will take another example. I think everyone have seen this example. Okay, so in our phone we have contact book, right? Okay, if you wanted to store my number, okay, if you wanted to store my number in your mobile, what you will do? First you will enter my name, and you will give this value as a phone number. Whenever you wanted to call, you will directly type my number, or you will type my name. You will type my name, because you cannot remember this value always. Maybe by, I mean, if you keep on call me every day, okay, if you keep on call me every day, so by that time you will be able to remember. Okay, but generally we'll remember the name easily, and whenever you type Vijay, automatically it will pop up my number and you will dial. Correct. Similarly here also same concept here, guys. Okay, so this is our actual value. It is stored in one of the block, so it will get, every time it will get some unique address. So remembering the address is very difficult, so we'll give some reference name called name, price, model, camera, RAM, size. Okay, these are nothing but reference names. Okay, so how we can store these values in the memory? How we can store these values in the memory? Just follow. Okay, so just follow this syntax. Okay, your variable name, what you wanted to give the reference, use the assignment operator, and you can give the value. That's it. That's it. This is how you can store the values in the memory in Python programming language. Okay, yes. Let's assume, so this is our RAM. This is our RAM. So this is how these values will be stored. Okay? So first name, variable name. First it will load the value into the memory, and it will generate the some unique address. So remembering the address is difficult, so we are giving the reference as a name, this name. Next, similarly, mobile number, it will your unique address and variable name. So this is how your RAM will load the values. And as a programmer, during your implementation, during your project or program, you will use the variable names. Simple definition, variable is used to, generally variables are used to store the values. But in Python programming, same purpose. In Python programming, same purpose. But variable names are reference to your actual memory location. Actual memory location. That's it. Okay. Yes. Next, same rules, right? Okay, variable is, as I said earlier, variable is, what is that? Variable user defined name, just name. Okay, so what is name? Nothing but an identifier, right? It will follow the same rules again here. Okay, what is that? Variable name must contain letters, and it should start with either letters or underscore. Names are case sensitive. Names cannot be keyword. And uh, okay, yes. So those, I mean, whenever you are, wherever you are, if anyone asks what is the rules of identifier of variables, immediately you should able to tell all these rules, guys. Okay. Yes. So little explore further. Okay. Already we covered, but I just wanted to make it again. So how to define the variable? Okay. Just variable name, assignment operator, your value. Okay. So this value we will see in our next, I think next second or third video. We'll see what is this value and how to represent these values. Okay, if it is a just number, okay, you can give only numbers. Okay, you can give only numbers, but if it is a string, we have to define or enclose within them in the codes. Okay, yes. So first name, last name, mobile, email. Okay, we have seen. Okay, this value can be sometimes expression also. Okay, like I mean, so we are concatenating two strings and we are storing value in the full name. Okay, we are calculating some area of some circular rectangle. Okay, and we are calculating the total marks of student. Okay, it can be an expression also, and it can be another variable also. Okay, it can be another variable also. This is about variables, guys. This is about variables. Okay, so next we will see what is keyword. Okay, next we will see what is keyword. What is keyword? Keyword is just reserved word for Python interpreter. Python interpreter. We have not seen what is interpreter here, but I'm just giving you one high level introduction about the interpreter. So whenever you type English instructions like, I mean, A equal to 30, B equal to 40, A plus B. Okay, you are writing in plain English, right? So these instructions has to be converted to zeros and ones. Who will do? So this interpreter program, it will take all your instructions, it will convert into zeros and ones. Okay, so these interpreter has implemented in another programming language called C. So while implementing this program, they have reserved some words for their own purpose. Okay, what are those words? So these are some of the words. Okay, so you should remember all these things. Okay, I mean, going forward, so whenever you write program, you will directly use. So you don't remember, but as part of our writing the program, logical thing and program building, definitely you will recall them. Okay, yes. So if you wanted to see all the keywords, okay, just open command prompt, type import keyword and follow this import keyword.kw list. You will get all the keywords according to the Python version which you have installed, which is running in your system. Okay, yes. So these are the keywords for 3.14 version. Okay, what is the keyword? So keyword is nothing but a simple word which is already used in our interpreter implementation. So we cannot use those words for our own purpose in our project. That's it. Okay, that's all about keyword. Okay, so we will see them in practical. Let's assume. So we have seen right here. So what is that? True is one of the keyword. Okay, I'm just giving. Otherwise, what we will see is class. I think we have seen no class equal to Python. Okay, what is here? So I'm trying to store some value in one variable called class, but it is giving invalid syntax because class is one of the keyword. Okay, I will just add one. Okay, so some like I mean Python a topic. Happily it will allow because underscores are allowed and course underscore topic is not keyword. Okay, similarly import equal to Vijay Kumar, but is again keyword, so you cannot use. Okay, and next for equal to 32 22. Okay, for is again keyword, you cannot use it. Okay, yes. So this is how you should remember the keywords. So as I said, so during our program execution program flow, definitely you will remember, I mean, you don't need to remember, but you will use them, we will use them in our program. Okay, that time we will see. Okay, so this is about today. We have seen what is Python, Python introduction, who has developed the Python important features, Python like use cases where and all we can use the Python, and how to download and how to install, and what is the identifier, what are the rules of identifier, variables and keywords. Okay, in our next video we will see what is data types. Okay, that's all for this video guys. So thank you.